Hi, I'm Tom Garner. I'm in my office on Bulldog Hill. This is October the 27th, 2025. I'm here to video a My Thoughts session. And over the last couple of weeks, I've been asked two or three times uh, whether a buyer would benefit greatest from acquiring a female or a male pup. In other words, which one will contribute most to the development and improvement of a yard. Um, as I pondered that question, it's become clear that one of the deciding factors in making that choice is differentiated by whether you're getting your first pup or two, or you already have an established yard, because the answers, from my perspective, are different for those two situations. On the one hand, if you are a beginner, uh, if you get a female, the female the female choice would be better in a couple of different ways. One of them being that you will have access, if you want to pay a stud fee, you'll have access to whatever accomplished or super accomplished studs that you can have access to just for a stud fee. Uh, if you've got a male, uh, you got a whole lot of proving to do before that male will be acceptable. Of course, you got proving to do uh, with a female as well. You have to genuinely determine that the female, well, to start with, must have a desirable pedigree. Uh, she must be phenotypically strong, both mentally and physically, uh, and meet all of the breed standards. So once you get to that point, both a male and a female would contribute, if you breed them, would contribute their genetics. But in the case of a female, um, she's in a position to contribute more. And you would wonder why, since both sides contribute half of the genes. Well, the way this thing works, and science has become acutely aware of this more and more with each decade that passes, Mother Nature doesn't just put a bunch of genes together and hope for the best. There's all sorts of many mechanisms, micro mechanisms, that allow adjustments to be made in the developing uh, pup. There are lots of genes that are not fully turned on at the moment of conception. There's still optional ways that things can define themselves. Uh, as a litter is developing inside of the mother in utero, uh, some genes get turned on and turned off based upon the biochemistry of the mother. If the mother is prone to be very adrenal, that will turn on some genes that manifest an adrenal type personality. Uh, all sorts of ways that the biochemistry of the mother fine tunes the nature of her offspring. So um, the male contributes his genes and he's pretty much done. Female contributes her genes equal to the male, but then she provides the uh, gestational environment in which the biochemistry that is necessary for her life and the expression of her personality, those things are floating around in her bloodstream and fine tuning the turning on and turning off of genes in the pups that are in gestation. So that can make a very significant difference. There are some genes that are not fully defined, turned on or turned off, even up through a year and a half of life. So the experiences can, uh, after the point of birth, the experiences of the pup and young dog can fine tune which genes are being manifest and being expressed. The additional way that a female contributes more um, is in modeling behavior. If puppies view their mother before they're weaned, if they view their mother being super aggressive, super prey driven, they learn these things. They see these things and they internalize them. So there's with respect to the individual litter, a female contributes more than a male does. But then we have the other scenario where you already have an established yard. Mother can only contribute on the average 2 times a year. Male can be bred every other day. So if you have a super high caliber male to bring to bear on an existing quality yard, uh, in 6 months' time, he can reshape that entire program with his genetics. So, uh, yeah, you can breed him every other day. Don't necessarily recommend that, but we're talking about what's physiologically possible. You can bring him in, breed him to all your bitches in a season, and he has fully altered the trajectory of the genetics of your program, and hopefully for the better. So to go back and in summary, if you're a beginner, probably better off to start with a female. Female can have a great impact on your first litters. You can spend the money, breed her to whatever you want to breed her to. And then if she is exhibiting the desired behaviors during the gestational period, she will fine tune the nature of her offspring to be more like her. And then finally, before they're weaned, after they're born, before they're weaned, she's modeling behavior for them. They'll they'll tend to pick up her behavior, adopt her behavior in their own behavioral repertoire. Um, Again, on the other hand, the male, his contribution is almost exclusively genetic. He can bring his genetics to bear many more times over time than the female can. The female twice a year, male 3 times a week. So that's how I break it down. That's how I recommend that folks understand the best way to choose male or female in terms of trying to have the greatest impact on their new or existing programs. Hope this has been useful to you. We appreciate you watching. Have a good day.